of political interests contained in there. But there must be some serious concerns given that elections for the past 20, almost 30 years have been highly contested in Kenya. And the IEBC has always been accused of being partisan in those contestations. Do you see the risk here with the claims that even this time round, the selection panel is already lopsided?
Well, thank you, Fred. And I think if you are going to look at a brief history of the electoral process in Kenya, why parties have always nominated members to, IEBC. In this case, it's a selection panel. It dates back to the 90s when we had inter-parties parliamentary group, where a few things were agreed on, and then it was about the constitution of the then Electoral Commission of Kenya, the commissioners, that at least each political side was going to contribute or to propose a name or two, so that at least then when the elections happen ultimately, then that it is every party feels represented in the commission. And this is the same thinking that informed the selection of IEBC panelists. We had what was called the National Dialogue Committee, and that is where most of these things were agreed. But then the circumstances are different as we speak, because just like the Honorable Gogoy is saying, the sides that were hitherto, on either side are now together. And what is even more hypocritical with these sides is that no side, represents the numbers that they represented in the last elections. And I think we have said that in the past. That if you look at we had NASA and Kenya Kwanza, but look at the numbers. Look at who is in either of the coalitions. Raila Amolo Odinga had Martha Karua at that time as a running mate and as a supporter, and of course, who brought him a lot of votes. He had Kalonzo Musyoka, who again brought him a lot of votes. So, Raila Odinga cannot represent that side now alone without the major supporters or without the major players that he had that time. Look at William Ruto, for example, who had Rigathi Gachagua, who actually brought him about 4.7 million votes. 47% of the total vote that he was able to garner. So when William Ruto goes there representing Kenya Kwanza, I think he doesn't have the moral authority. He doesn't have the authority to represent Kenya Kwanza because over half of his support is not with him. Raila Amolo Odinga the same. So I think I think this is something that should be looked into on a very serious note, because then if these two sides, which are now actually together, then become if they become the people to determine who sits in the IEBC selection panel, then the next elections are already compromised, Fred. And I think there is a lot of hypocrisy in the whole thing.
Okay, many people are saying that even this whole process is just simply window dressing. That just as Bonangogoyo said, and the feeling on social media is that